In the village of Umunze, there lived a successful businessman named Chief Okafor. He had built his fortune from nothing, a small trading business that grew into a chain of stores across 3 states. But success bred envy, and in Umunze, envy wore a dark mask. Chief Okafor's daughter, Ada, was 17, sharp as a knife, brave as a lion, and educated in the city. She had returned home for her father's 60th birthday celebration when everything changed. It started with the dreams. Chief Okafor would wake up screaming, drenched in sweat, speaking of a faceless man calling his name. Then came the headaches, blinding, crushing pain that no hospital could explain. Within 2 weeks, a strong man became a trembling shadow. "Papa, you need to go back to the hospital," Ada pleaded, watching her father struggle to lift a cup of water.
Papa, you need to go back to the hospital.
I've been to 5 hospitals, my daughter. The doctors find nothing. This is not a sickness they can cure.
His voice hollow. The doctors find nothing. This is not a sickness they can cure. Eda's mother, Mama Nkechi, sat in the corner, rosary beads clicking through her fingers. "It's spiritual," she said quietly.
Spiritual. Someone has gone to the native doctor against your father.
Mama, that's superstition.
"Is it?" Her mother's eyes flashed. "Explain how a healthy man becomes this in 14 days. Explain the dreams. Explain why he vomits black water every morning." Ada had no explanation. That night, she lay awake listening to her father's labored breathing from the next room. Through the window, she saw a shadow, a figure standing at the edge of their compound, perfectly still, watching their house. She ran outside, but the figure had vanished. In its place, on the ground, was a small clay pot wrapped in red cloth. Ada's blood turned to ice. The next morning, Ada took the clay pot to Pastor Emeka, hoping for prayers and holy water. But the pastor's face went pale when he saw it. "Where did you find this?" he asked, refusing to touch it. "Outside our house." Pastor Emeka backed away. "This is from Dibia Okonkwo, the most powerful native doctor in this region. Child, whoever your father offended has paid a great price for this curse. I cannot help you. This is beyond prayer." "Nothing is beyond God," Ada shouted. "Then let God fight this battle," the pastor said sadly. "I have a wife and children. Dibia Okonkwo does not forgive interference." Ada left the church, the clay pot burning in her hands like a coal. She made a decision. If the native doctor had cursed her father, she would go to him herself. "Ada, you cannot be serious," her mother screamed when she announced her plan. "Dibia Okonkwo is dangerous. He has buried stronger men than you." "Then I will be buried trying to save Papa," Ada said firmly. "Or would you rather watch him die in silence?" Her mother grabbed her arms. "Let me go. Let me speak to him. You're too young. I am Papa's daughter. I carry his blood, his strength, and I am going." That evening, as the sun set blood red over Umunze, Ada walked the forest path to Dibia Okonkwo's shrine. Villagers who saw her whispered and turned away. Children were pulled indoors. Doors slammed shut. The shrine sat in a clearing, surrounded by carved wooden figures with hollow eyes. Bones hung from trees. The air smelled of burning herbs and something darker, something that made Ada's stomach turn. "I've been expecting you, Ada Okafor," a voice said from the shadows. Dibia Okonkwo emerged. He was ancient. His face a map of wrinkles, eyes like black holes. Around his neck hung charms made of leather, teeth, and things Ada didn't want to identify. You know my name, Ada said, forcing her voice steady. I know everything. I know you came to save your father. I know you think courage can defeat power. He laughed, a sound like cracking bones. How foolish the young are. Did you curse my father? I? The native doctor smiled. I merely fulfilled the contract. Someone paid me very well to ensure Chief Okafor never sees another harvest. Your father made enemies, child. Powerful enemies. Who? Ida demanded. That information cost extra. Dibia Okonkwo circled her like a predator. But I can offer you a trade. Your father's life for yours. You take the curse. He goes free. Simple. Ada's hands trembled, but her voice didn't. No. The native doctor's smile faded. No? I challenge you, Ada said. Remove the curse. Face me with your power, and I will face you with mine. Dibia Okonkwo stared at her. Then he laughed. A real laugh. Surprised and delighted. A challenge? No one has challenged me in 40 years. The last man who did, I turned his mind to water. But you have spirit. Very well. 3 tests. If you pass all 3, your father goes free. If you fail even one, you both die. Agreed? Ada thought of her father, wasting away in his bed. Agreed. Dibia Okonkwo placed 3 calabashes before Ada. One contains water. One contains poison that kills in seconds. One contains poison that kills in hours. Choose one and drink. If you choose water, you pass. If you choose wrong, he shrugged. Ada stared at the calabashes. They looked identical. Her hands hovered over them. The native doctor's eyes gleamed with anticipation. Then Ada noticed it. The smallest detail. One calabash had a tiny crack, barely visible. Water would seep through such a crack. Poison, being thicker, would not. She grabbed that one and drank deeply. Dibia Okonkwo's smile tightened. Lucky, very lucky. But luck runs out. Test 2. The truth. Tell me, the native doctor said. The name of the person who hired me to kill your father. Speak the name, and you pass. Speak the wrong name, and you fail. Ada's mind raced. Who would want her father dead? Business rivals? Jealous relatives? Political enemies? Then she remembered. 3 months ago, her father had won a contract that another businessman, Chief Ugochukwu, had wanted desperately. Chief Ugochukwu had sworn vengeance publicly. Chief Ugochukwu, Ada said. Dibia Okonkwo's face remained neutral. Are you certain? Ada's confidence wavered. Was it a trick? But she had no other answer. I am certain. The native doctor's eyes narrowed. Wrong. Ada's heart stopped. It was your father's own brother, your Uncle Chidi. He believed your father cheated him out of inheritance. Jealousy makes monsters of family. Then I failed? Ada whispered. You would have. Except I am impressed by your courage to name a powerful man without fear. And the test was to speak a name, not the name. You pass. Barely. Dibia Okonkwo led Ada into the shrine's inner chamber. On an altar sat two objects, a knife and a white dove in a cage. The curse on your father is tied to a living sacrifice, the native doctor explained. To break it, something innocent must die by your hand. Kill the dove and your father lives, but you must do it yourself. Innocent blood on innocent hands. Ada looked at the dove. It looked back at her with trusting eyes. And if I refuse? Your father dies by morning. You fail the test. And you, he smiled darkly, you will wish you had died with him. Ada picked up the knife. Her hand shook. The dove cooed softly. She raised the knife, then lowered it. No, Ada said firmly. I won't kill an innocent creature to break a curse created by evil. If that makes me fail, so be it. But I will not become like you. She threw the knife to the ground. Dibia Okonkwo stared at her in stunned silence. Then, slowly, he began to laugh. But this laugh was different, softer, almost human. 40 years, he whispered. 40 years I have waited for someone to refuse this test. Everyone chooses the knife. Everyone sacrifices innocence to save themselves. But you, he looked at Ada with something like respect. You chose honor over survival. He clapped his hands once. The dove's cage opened and it flew away. The curse is broken, Dibia Okonkwo said. Your father will wake tomorrow as if nothing happened. Ada couldn't believe it. Why? I failed the test. No, child. You passed the only test that mattered. The others were games. This one was truth. The old native doctor sat heavily on his stool, suddenly looking every one of his many years. I was once a healer, you know. I used my gifts to help people. Then greed and power corrupted me. I made a vow long ago. If anyone could resist the darkness I offered, I would free them and their family forever. He pulled out a small leather pouch and pressed it into Ada's hand. Your Uncle Chidi will try again. Burn this herb in your compound every full moon. No curse will touch your family. Why are you helping me? Ada asked. Because you reminded me of who I used to be, before I became the monster. He looked away. Go, before I regret this mercy. Ada ran home through the forest, the herbs clutched in her hand. By the time she burst through the door, the sun was rising. Her father sat up in bed, color returning to his face, eyes clear and focused. Ada, he said, his voice strong. Why are you crying? Ada collapsed into his arms, sobbing with relief. Her mother rushed in. What happened? He just woke up, like nothing was wrong. Ada told them everything. The challenge, the tests, the native doctor's final mercy. Chief Okafor held his daughter tight. You risked your life for me. You're my father, Ada said simply. What else would I do? Later that week, Uncle Chidi came to visit, his face like a mask of shock, seeing Chief Okafor healthy and strong. Brother, he said nervously, I heard you were ill. I was, Chief Okafor replied coldly. But my daughter is braver than my enemies are evil. Uncle Chidi left quickly, never to return. Months passed. The business thrived. The family grew stronger. And in the forest, In a small clearing, Dibia Okonkwo sat by his shrine, staring at his hands. Hands that had caused so much pain. Slowly, he began to pack away his charms, his bones, his tools of darkness. One girl's courage had broken more than a curse. It had broken a cycle. And in Umunzi village, they still tell the story of Ada Okafor, the girl who challenged death itself and won. Not with power, but with honor. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is refuse to become the monster that haunts you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to do so. It really encourages us to providing you amazing videos like this.